Hi, I'm Christopher Runsman. Welcome to One Page Story Extravaganza. If you have a story idea you'd like to suggest, please put it in the chat or the comments. You can feel free to put it on the comments section in any of my social media or any of my posts at all. I do a one-page story from these ideas or ideas that are flowing through my own noggin every single day, and I post them online. If you want to see the original art, it's on my Patreon. The link's down below for that and all of the other social media outlets. Joining the community, have fun, subscribe to things, put the notifications on, all that jazz. But take part, have fun, watch for your suggestion to be made into a story, inspire others maybe with your idea, or, I don't know, be inspired to make some of your own. Either way, it's a lot of fun. Hope to see you soon. Okay, hi. How's everybody doing? Corbin and I are just hanging out in the studio and getting some crack-a-lackin' on the way. So, today is 3 Prompt Tuesday. 3 Prompt Tuesday! Right, buddy? Corbin agrees. So, I thought we'd do another 3 prompt thing. So, I have run out of 3 prompt suggestions. And, we're still in the month of October, eh? So, I'm going to do some 3 prompts that are already out there. So, hey, Chris is joining us. How you doing, Chris? Welcome aboard. Today's 3 prompt suggestions are thinking, heart, and window. And this was originally given to Rachel. I just thought they were neat, and I wrote them down at the time. But thanks to Rachel and thanks to Dee Dee, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to do it too. It's kind of part of the fun of some of these suggestions is that, no 2 people are going to interpret the same thing the same way twice. It's compelling that way in my mindset. So we're going to play a little bit today. This is the page from yesterday, Godzilla in Therapy. The suggestion was from Jim L. And I thought it was a lot of fun. Also, a shout out to Scott Cirkland. I love these little, he has, if you're interested in it, Scott has the starter kit. It's a starter kit that he puts out for sequential books and for sequential art making and comics in general. So if you get a chance, sign up for his newsletter, because then you get access to this thing, and he has different brushes for Photoshop, and it has different PNG files. PNG files are the free floating files. So you could have an image sit in the middle of whatever else you have on your screen. And some of those things that are in there are different kinds of word balloons, because I can't be bothered to doing all these different kinds of word balloons, honestly, because I'm impatient. And so this is where today's word balloons came from. It was one of his little add-ons in that package. So if you get a chance, you're interested in this sort of jazz, take a look at Scott Cirkland's newsletter. It's fun. He talks about different nostalgic things that he's working on, and I got a kick out of that sort of jazz. So that was fun. I drew it in pencil, I inked it, and then I scanned it and colored it. So the text is all done in the robot as well. Hey, Aditi, how you doing? Welcome aboard. So yeah. Anyhow, this one was a fun one. There's a little suggestive commentary in that last panel. Some kind of monster, like a very small monster, and he's looking at the therapist. Anyways, mankind, right? Just fun. Just one of those little fun ideas. Okay, I'm going to switch cameras up for a second. Well, not for a second, for the rest of the thing. But before I do that, I'm going to talk up the Craft Hive again in St. Thomas. Fantastic art store. Check out the deeds there if you're in the area. Go check them out. And today we're going to get mental, experimental. So yeah, here we go. I'm going to click on the overhead. Now, what I've got in front today is some cardstock that I've been monkeying around with, and using these 2 different kinds of fountain pens that I got. Now, this guy, okay, is much thicker. This is a 05 from Preppy. It's called. It's a Preppy pen. I'm very preppy. And this is my Uli. And the Uli pen that I've got is a much finer nib. Look at that gentle little thing. So I've been playing with just making some shapes, making some marks on the paper, and warming up the pens, because if you don't, before you start using fountain pens, they can be clunky. Now, I've also got something fun here. This guy has purple ink in it that is now switching to black, and this one had black ink in it, which is now switching to red. Very exciting. So we'll see what transitional changes it makes in the colors as I'm working. Right now from overhead, it looks very, very dark. But as it gets closer, you can see all this crazy variation in the color of the lines. So, Janet's joined us. Hiya, Janet. Janet's only here for the fun. Never gonna hear the end of that. I turn off. Modest mouse going in my head here. Right, Corbin? Corbin has joined me in the studio as always, and keeping me company. I'm gonna move that. Thank you, sir. So anyhow, this is we all know that Christopher likes fun. There we go. You guys know what I meant. This is because in a stream, Janet was going to follow her stream with the stream that Dee Dee did the other day, and I said, "All right, I'm looking for some fun." And Dee Dee was like, "What? I'm not fun? That's not what I meant." But I'm going to get teased to the ends of the earth anyways. So anyways, so I'm just swinging my chair around here. So I thought I'd draw today's page in fountain pen, and which is it's a challenging way to do a page, I'll tell you that much, just because it's so very unforgiving. But we're ready to go. We're very excited. But it's going to be a slightly different way of working, that's for sure. I was thinking of seeing how this would turn out on a darker paper stock. Here we go. Chris says, "By the way, I'm making a chicken." Conspiracy chicken! We'll see it soon on Instagram. Okay, I could do without you smacking me in the face with your child the whole time, Corbin. He just thinks it's social. Seeing if that... Yeah, you can see it. Let's do this. I'm looking forward to that, Chris. That sounds exciting. All right, so I got Goofball by my side. Hey, look at me. My name's Corbin. I'm Goofball. So we're gonna try to get some stuff done without him driving me completely crazy. Too late. I'm gonna flip this over, this cardstock, just because it's got some wackadoo marks. Well, it's got wackadoo marks on this side too. Hey, let's work on this. That changeable. This is a Stonehenge paper that I've got here now. It's a really great texture on it. You can see it if I pull up close. And now, bugger, you bit me. What you bite me for? All right. So we're going to work on that. It's kind of fun. But I think that with that texture, it's going to be a little easier to use a fountain pen on. Okay. Now, if Corbin's done biting at me, you done? We got working. So today's suggestions I had on a piece of paper: thinking, heart, and window. And these are suggestions that were given to Rachel I don't know how long ago. And I wrote them down at the time. They were given to her by Dee Dee. So thank you to Rachel and Dee Dee. So, all right. So I think I'll do... Let's start with our first one. Let's start with thinking. And we'll go from there. All right, Corbin? Yeah, this is a really nice surface to work with the fountain pen on, because it's not so slippy, dippy, loosey-goosey. I like that. because that's no fun to draw on. But it still forces you to make careful decisions, unless you pencil it out first. Like if you're gonna pencil out your drawing or your page or whatever it is first, it gives you a little bit more playability when you're actually doing the work. But I thought I'd just get down to it. One of the things I like about fountain pen is the controlled line of them, and that you can play with the variation on the line. So, that's a great benefit when you're just wanting to work in ink, when you're just wanting to do some illustration work with just a simple tool. So, but we go cracking. Today is Tuesday. Uh-oh. Janet says, has Christopher got the fountain pen bug? It's a bug. Yeah, I've always had these guys. I've drawn with them before. I just decided that this is what I'll use today. I was at the jam last night. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of people turn out. What jam is that? The Monday Comic Jam. We had a whole bunch of people turn out. It was a good time. And yeah, you sort of, when you're just working sort of black and white, and you're trying to limit the amount of tools that you're using, because honestly, everybody around the table has to utilize those same or similar tools. It makes you think. It rewires your head just a little bit. So I thought, I was enjoying doing some black and white work last night. Why don't we do a little more today? And then I used purple ink. So, I'm complex. That's what my friends call me whiskers. So the first thought is thinking. So I thought I'd initially draw a guy reflecting back on way back when. Just because. So I'm trying to do the lines that I'm putting down directionally. Right? Hold that up. So I'm trying to use directional lines as I'm going, just to, add that little quality to it, so that you get the intention, or you get the idea that this plane is moving down this side of my nose if I have the lines coming this way. We'll see how this goes. Now, some people are really, really proficient at this. Again, patience. So I have to get some today. Just so it'd be interesting to see the fountain pen bug that other people have, now that Janet's mentioned that. It's got me thinking a lot. Curious about that. I'm having fun with it, though. Although it's not something that I can work with every day, and again, because it's a slower moving process. So, but I do believe I have caught the bug, as it were, just for today. I try to do as many different things as I can in different medium on a regular basis, largely because I don't kind of want to lose a handle on some of those skills that you develop over time, which I find can happen when you don't touch something for a long time, and then you try to break into it, and there's a little frustration there because you haven't done it in a while. Janet has nice pens. I have some crappy fountain pens. And she cleans hers. What? You gotta clean them? It's a whole world out there. Fountain pen fanatics. I may or may not be part of that fanaticism. Janet says, of course I clean them, Dee Dee. Dee Dee's got a brand new clean hair dryer or heat gun or whatever it's called. it's really nice and clean. I was really impressed by her cleaning of it. You should see it, Jan. It's gorgeous. It looks practically brand new. And Corbin doesn't believe that. Heat tool. I like that. This is my heat tool. I was watching some older movies this morning, and unfortunately, one of them was I can't remember his title now. Of course, I can't remember it when I was just about to tell you. It's got Charles Bronson and is it Henry Fonda? Charles Bronson and Henry Fonda, and Western film. And Bronson spends the entire time with this darn harmonica going, and it's just stuck in my head now. So I hear everything with that silly thing. Chris says, I don't have any, and I wouldn't clean them at all. Ha ha ha. Jenna says, it won't last long, Christopher. She's already written on it. She wrote on it. The paint was all that was holding the old one together. That's what happens. When they quit writing, you'll want to clean them, Chris. Well, yeah. I'm kind of lazy with ink, India ink, similar materials. Yeah, I brutalize brushes with ink. I realize that, some people have most people have dedicated brushes for different medium, and I don't. I'll end up using the same brushes for inks, for acrylics, for watercolor. Just, when it wears down so much, I just don't use that one anymore and replace it. But yeah, my tool use is subjective, so I completely understand that, Chris. All right, so thinking heart and window. Sorry, just before I forget, is our suggestions today. And I'm working in fountain pen. So these are, drum roll please, $10 fountain pens that I picked up at Chapters Indigo here in London. And she says, stop it, you're killing me over here. I bought these at Chapters Indigo there, and they came in little packages with the pen and an extra cartridge. And then immediately used up the cartridges. So then began the great ink hunt of 2023. Lori found a ton of replacement cartridges for the Uli, and we found at another Chapters that they had a bunch of replacement cartridges for the Preppy. So I've got extra cartridges now for each of these, and I'm quite pleased with that. So. But I've got multiple colors. I've got red and black for the Preppy, and red, purple, blue, green, and black for the early one. So Chris says, with brushes, I'm careful. I do separate them: oil, watercolor, and all-purpose brushes. Those last ones I don't like. You don't mind losing. I can't use oil on that. I think it's very different. Like the brushes, the acrylic and the watercolor isn't so far removed, but it would be quite different with the oil, so I can completely understand that. Now, there's certain brushes that, there are specific brushes that I won't use on everything, but then there's just others that, I'll use them on everything I come anywhere close to. Pet walks by, brush on the kids, right in the forehead, So I'm just working my way around the image, small marks. I'm looking for the directional lines on the surface. So, and we're drawing the composition as we go. Ruben has finally settled down, so all's well in Denmark. I suppose he doesn't want to hear about refilling cartridges with a syringe and preferable inks. What? This is possible? This magic? Water containers are separate too. Lots of trips to get clean water. Oh yeah, I understand. I got 3 water containers on my cart. So. Universal cartridges that are reusable. Huh? Tell me more of this magic. Do they have that for Uli? Is everything interchangeable with all the different? The ink cartridges for these 2 pens are very different. And I'd have to look into that for sure. So as usual, if anybody's working on stuff that they want to talk about, feel free to throw in there. Put in the comments and let's talk about it. I've got a little show and tell for you. I thought I did. There they are. So this is, before I continue on a little bit more, I got a couple of books to show you. And what am I missing? Different palettes for gouache and watercolor, bathroom tile for acrylics. There you go. Bathroom tile. Is it on the floor? Tell me it's not on the floor. Anyways, don't answer that. I'm ridiculous. So this is, So this is a photocopy of the jams we've been doing lately in the group. And there's all kinds of fun that's going on in these pages, all kinds of different ages for the participants. Somebody starts the first panel, right? And the next person has to continue this narrative and so on and so forth through the whole thing. And it's kind of a fun idea to have to work with the style or the ideas of others. But then you get little pieces of gold like this. Do what they, you know what they say, dress for the job you want. And here's a person dressed as a conspiracy chicken. This person's dressed as a frog and says, we'll work for flies. You guys have got hamburger helmets and they say, we're hungry. You know, flower shop, working for love. We'll be put under spell to sleep. These jokes just keep going. I love stuff like that. It's such a huge pile of fun but you just get people carrying on. It doesn't matter who starts a page or what the idea is. Everybody has to try to figure out what that was and go with it. And it can go in all kinds of different directions. This is a fun one. This is the one I tend to talk about with people. Somebody's drawn a rudimentary sort of stick figure of a train going into a tunnel, and the other side of that tunnel is 2 guys in a pump cart on the tracks. And so as the train's pulling up, the one person says, you know, I'll save you, as they're jumping off the track. And they jump, and the other person says, you're going to die, stupid. So I drew the guy, this is my version of a stick figure, crashing into that. He's saving him by stopping the train and smashing it to pieces. And then the next person comes in with, you're a stupid, you know, as they're whipping away on that cart. And then the person that smashed into the train bouncing along the ground says, you're a stupid. And then the final is the other guy at the gravesite saying, this is the most that I knew, as stupid, and he never wore clothes. It's that kind of gold that just I just get taken by. Here's another one, a bunch more pages, and we try to list off all the people that are in there. We've done that. I did 7 of these in a professional way, and then now we've been doing them with this photocopying method because it's just too expensive to do them the other way with the cost of paper today. But you can see, like dragons and cows. What more do you need? So this is the thing I'm always advocating. And there's the third one as well. This is I'll show you this. This is a continuing story. It's the people that are involved in this. Basically, what happened is we never do continuous pages. We never do continuous stories. And in this case, this is one. So it starts off with, what were you thinking? My brain. My brain's left me. That's it. I'm out of here. There's a brain on the bus, you know, and then the brain on the bus It's going to make his move controlling the bus driver. It's ridiculous. It's a lot of fun when you fit in American Gothic. And then it goes to the seaside. It picks American Gothic up in order to clean off the bus. Goes to the seaside. Here's the shark. And then the shark gets attacked by the brain. So now we've introduced shark into the whole mix. And then the shark is going through its whole, melancholy about its life choices. Get a little Jaws insertion there. And then it decides to leave the Earth and go off and fight in space. And somebody reflects back and says, this is an old evolved shark talking about, Grandpappy or something. And then we go into a diner randomly, and then the diner starts serving shark burgers that are caught at the seaside, and it connects all those different parts together. It's just ridiculous fun, but, it's just a good way to hone skills by drawing things outside your normal normal comfort zone. Jenna says, I'm going to be shocked if I say I'm drawing butts on things. Nobody's going to be shocked by that. Nobody's going to be shocked by that. So if you have an opportunity to do something like that, to get involved with some friends and to jam together on ideas, how we do it is somebody draws the first panel and then writes their name on the back and then puts the page in the middle of the table. And the next person picks up said page and has to continue whatever the context is, whatever the narrative is that was started in that first panel, the character that's introduced, etc., and build on that. So it really challenges you to draw things you might not have drawn. It challenges you to, engage with styles you might not normally work in. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm always trying to convince others to give it a go. We've been doing it since 2015. Have a good time. All right, so here's my guy reflecting back. So I've got him coming in here, and I'm going to draw, as he's sitting here thinking, I'm going to have him flash back to choices he made when he was younger. This is more of a serious page today. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I can be serious at times. So what I was talking about earlier is that because of the change in speed you might have to do if you're working in ink, you'll get different lines than you would normally put down, or you'll get a slightly different stylistic approach than you might normally do. And a lot of that has to do with the tool, and a lot of that has to do with the pace that you might work at, because it's a different medium, and this medium has certain requirements. Like, you can't just draw really fast and smudge your finger through it. You're going to make a mess of it, right? And, those of you that work with ink, you know what I mean. Those of you that might not have, definitely worth exploring. I was like, what's wrong with this face? I forgot to draw his eyebrow, man. So I'm debating with the other pen that I have, the Preppy pen. Such a dumb name. Because it's such thicker marks, I'm just trying to think about what way can I incorporate that beyond just sort of outlines, right? Everyone's sitting calmly now. That's always good. That's always a good feeling. Okay. So we're introducing our first character as he's looking back and reflecting on choices made in his life. Let's give some weight and volume to his neck. So there's a certain approach that people will take And you'll start to see some kinds of similarity in drawing style because of the lines that you're able to put down with fountain pens. Robert Crumb uses fountain pens, so you can sort of see how some of those marks come in there, that there's a similarity in that style and that approach. It's the same as when you see people drawing with these digital programs and with these little short tabs that bend the line the way you want it to. I find that a lot of those things just start looking like each other. Not to say all digital drawing looks like each other. I'm talking about those specific sort of usages and programs. So we're going to put them in a nice ovals. Never really was a big Crumb guy. I don't know if you're familiar with Robert Crumb's works, but one of those 60s underground guys. He's best known, I would think, for inventing in the 60s, he invented that keep on trucking image. The guys with the really long legs. Okay, so here's our guy, our principal, and he's thinking back on, youth choices made in the past. I like the Uli, it's an 01. And the reason that I like it so much is the nice control of line that I get from it. With the preppy one, because it's a 05, when I try to make the same similar shapes, it's much freer flowing because of it's larger, but it always feels like there's a chunkiness that happens in the lines. So I try to use this less. If people are interested in trying these pens out, I've got at least one of them as the ISBN number or the product number anyways, that I can read off. If people are interested, just let me know. Okay, so I'll finish off the sweater. So I know somebody that really, really loves Crumb and wants to draw like Crumb. And he said he's just not feeling like it's getting anywhere. And he said he was a pretty capable illustrator, but he was using a micro ball pen. I had some around here yesterday. He was using a micro ball drawing pen and wondering why he wasn't getting the same results that he wanted, like some of these Crumb lines. And I said, because you got to use a fountain pen. So, and then he did. I'm debating on a background, and now's the time to draw it because it's ink, and I don't want to be coming back up to this panel and smudging it digitally all over the rest of it. So let's just populate the background with some shapes. Nothing too decisive, nothing too overpowering. And then I'm going to do that thing that I do where I like to leave a little bit of space between whatever's happening in the back and our foreground character. So hopefully that separates enough whatever's happening back there. And it doesn't really matter what it's an image of. You just imagine it as like a blurred out photograph or something. Am I missing stuff? Nope, we're all okay. So yeah, so we're gonna get this all put down. This little back matter, this back information here. Just to have some interesting stuff going around in the panel. Move the eye around a little. But of course, there's going to be text here, there's going to be text here, there's going to be text here. So I'm not overly concerned about, if I cover up all this stuff, it doesn't matter. Because we're going to do that anyways when we get down to the text part of our program. Missing stuff? No? Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, Chris. Chris says, cool face. What do you think of the drawing? Sorry. Oh, boy. So it's just pressing a little harder to get that heavier line, lighter to get this shadable tone. A little bit of overlap. Let's finish up this part of things first. And try different marks as you're going. Just why not? I'll just fill out the rest of this side with crosshatch. And so here's our guy reflecting back on, thinking back on decisions that he's once made, things he could have, should have done one differently. Yeah, okay, so I'll hold this up just to bring it a little bit closer, just so you can see some of these details in here. So there we go. We're getting some different marks together. I mean, we can also get a little. I got ink in my hand already. I know that's gross. I know. Darn it! The ding dong doo. So do a little bit of stippling in this section here just to keep interesting marks and shapes going. Finish off this last little bit, hovering over the page so I don't get any more ink smudges going on. Come on, Christopher, for goodness sakes. Oh, Dan's joined us. Hiya, Dan. There you go. Dan says, your work reminds me of Robert Crumb. It's exactly what we were talking about earlier, is that using certain tools automatically changes your style a little bit and makes them look like certain kinds of marks. And there's only so much diversity and range that you can get in fountain pens when using them like this. So. A friend of mine was aspiring to, I'll tell Dan this since he wasn't here. A friend of mine was aspiring to draw like Chrome and couldn't figure out how to get it to connect, and he was using a microball pen. I said, switch to a fountain pen and you watch what happens. Okay, so here's, change my angle. So the Stonehenge paper that I'm drawing on is really thick, but it's got a nice cold surface to it, and it's 80-pound Stonehenge with a cold press. And if you're a cold press means there's more texture, a hot press means it's more smooth. So Janet has been doing anything that they want all day. That's great. I wore my comfy clothes last night to the gym. That felt good. Instead of getting dressed up fancy. It's always a nice feeling when you can do the things the way you want to do them. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so we'll just finish off putting some more marks on this panel. What does that group of marks represent? Who cares? Just is. Excuse me. Oh, Kalamazoo. All right, so there's our first panel that we've got done. Now, Corbin and I were talking, and we were thinking, hey, what's next? Corbin said, hey, try and turn the scissors away from your body when you're running with scissors, Janet. Janet does anything she wants, the way she wants. She'll run with scissors if she don't run with scissors, Janet. Okay, so here's our guy looking back on stuff. He's got feelings as he's thinking. One down. All right, so let's let me think. All right, let's draw a building. I got this cool book over here that's got it's an old nickel. I don't know what his first name is, but Nickel's a photographer and he takes pictures of all these old buildings. So let's incorporate one of those into our drawing. I'm just going to try to remember not to run with scissors up her face. Okay, so let's get this building down. There's always an inevitability that I'm going to put ink on my face today because I've got a scratchy nose. So it's just take your time. You know, just take your time as you're working with the ink and just move slowly and allow yourself to explore these lines and story that you're telling with them. But there's inevitability about how your marks are going to come out. I use my fountain pen upside down. I know that other people use theirs like so. I tend to use mine like this just because, I don't know, it just makes me, I got a little bit more control with it this way. Now, that's probably a delusion, who knows, but Each other sells all kinds of interesting things. So I'm trying to work the top on down. So, oh, I see you colored in yesterday's work. Yes, I did. Yeah, well, I mean, there's a black and white version as well for my Patreon, as well as the color version, as well as the one that's got the promo for today's show over top of it. There's multiple versions on the Patreon. I'm gonna be doing a coloring book for Christmas. We're going to be collecting a bunch of black and white things that I've drawn for people to color themselves. You color. That's what I'm calling it. The book's going to be called You Color It. I don't know. People would be interested in coloring, these random illustrated stories, but we'll find out. I'm going to put it online on the Patreon there so people can just download it themselves and have a go. You can download it whatever size you want and have some fun. So I'm just putting some bricks up here. Filling in the space. It's 3 times this week. Sheriff Taylor's got other things. Check out. I have not had a chance to check out People of Walmart. That cracked me up. I was thinking about it last night, and when we're on our walk, and I'm like, I gotta go back and look up People of Walmart, and I still forgot to do it. There's a big market in coloring books for adults. But thank you again for the suggestion. Yeah, I definitely will be. Yeah, but is it static images? Because I'll just be doing them 1-page stories as coloring projects for people. So, or maybe I'll find a bunch of spot illustrations like the alphabet book. I'll show you something. Janet says she's only appeared in a couple of the People of Walmart. Even bigger market for twisted adults. Oh boy. Let me see. Hold on, I'll switch the old camera. This is there we go. And you know what? That won't work. I'm pulling up some pages that I've got that'll be in the alphabet book. Things like this, make it a little bit bigger, see, I'm debating on what to do for the coloring book, because like Rear Windows is a fun drawing that could be in the coloring book, or maybe this one. But the ballpoint, pen on those makes it a little bit weird. So that would be, I would have to scan that and just make it a flat black image and have people color it then. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. But it's not like I have a shortage of things to use. I'm pretty sure if I ever went to a therapist, my therapist would need a therapist and be in the same position. I tried to make some little statement with my Godzilla page today about who's the monster, Godzilla, or is it us? It's us. He's just minding his own business, trying to swim around the water. Not right, Corbin? Think about different spaces and shapes and a bit of complexity. See, the reason that I'm leaving all of this abstract space up at the top is because this is the panel here is going to have, a window of the place that he worked at, and he's going to say, "This is where I met such and such," and boy, oh boy, she sure was pretty. Young does the Monsters of Universal. I did Universal Monsters Meet Brady Bunch as a page. And it's up on my Instagram someplace. I don't know what page number that was, but it's there. We're going to be putting up one-page inserts on the Patreon as well. And that includes pages like Universal Monsters and Brady Bunch, Halloween 58, where Michael Myers has dementia. You can't remember where he put his knife. He's got kids trick-or-treating at the door. All kinds of the silly pages that we've done. Chuck Norris's fashion show. All the stuff that I couldn't put in this larger distributed book because of copyright. Right? It's people that are publishing that book don't understand satire. So they don't want anything that they think I have to get other people's permission for their likeness. I draw too many likenesses. So that's no fun. Yeah, I like the idea of Young does the Monsters of the Universe, so that's fun. Another person who has an interesting fountain pen or marker pen drawings that he does is Frank Cho. He did a newspaper strip called Liberty Meadows. And, and then he got into superhero comics, blah, blah, blah. But his Liberty Meadows work is just astounding. So whenever he got some new pens, he'd do these traditional line art illustrations. Phenomenal work. All right, so continue that. Did I tell you about the guy with a plastic corn helmet on his head at the grocery store this weekend? That is fantastic. Is he just trying out his Halloween costume? He's just working it in? Or is he just a character? Because sometimes they're just characters. Bricks. I'm sure that everybody can relate some really fantastic individual that they have come across when going to a department store or a grocery store or something like that. I'm sure that everybody has somebody that they're like, I can't believe this person. I went to a grocery store once and there was somebody who had those cut-off pants that, the cut-off jeans that were really highly cut off, and yeah, just because it's a fashion on TV doesn't mean it's for all of us. Like, I'm well aware that I can't pull off fashion as if I were a guy in his 20s and, half my size. But certain things like these really high cut off jean shorts, they're not for all of us. Dan says they're raising money for the girls' YMCA youth camp. Selling bags of popcorn. Fantastic. I was one of those people during the pandemic that would dress up in costumes when you went out. I'm just not sure he doesn't wear a corn helmet 365 days of the rest of the year. Jean shorts, no, but how about a Speedo? Oh, no, I've never seen a Speedo. There's this one fellow here in London, he's a Polish guy. He's a really nice guy, but he's always amped up, and he walks down Richmond Street over and over again through the course of his day. He's nice. You say hi to him. He says, "Hello, how are you?" But he runs back and forth up and down the street. He's really quite the athletic build because he's doing all this jogging all the time. But he wears these short shorts, and like he's dressing like he's Gentleman for Rent in New York in the 1970s. Like, it's ridiculous, his outfits. But he's a nice person. So you get him everywhere. This guy used to do like stretches, like stretching like he's about to do a big workout. He'd do it on the in this open sitting area outside the market that we have downtown in London, and like the whole stretch lunges and the whole bed of business, and he'd do it, and doing this smarmy "hello, ladies" as he did it at any female that was remotely close to him. It's kind of racy and gross, but that's what I'm talking about. You got weird people everywhere. Okay, what's oh, look out. Everybody look out. Hello, interplanetary citizens of the universe. Rana, weep, ninny bun. Chris says, yeah, I dressed with a full burqa, all black, nothing to be seen, not even the eyes. I thought the security people would not allow me in the supermarket, but they did. They even took pictures. Nice. True story. I had a friend in high school whose stepdad roller skated all over the place in hot pants. He was drunk. One day, her mom sent us down to the mall to retrieve him. We stood him up, got on each side of him, and rolled him home. Funniest thing ever. Oh, that's fantastic. I like that. I like that the security people kept an eye on you. That sounds about right, Chris. Boy, oh boy. What's this person doing over here? Keep an eye on him. An eye on him. They call it the code B for burqa. Code B over North State. I can make straight lines when I slow down. Ish. Okay, so now I'm going to put in this window that I've been talking about. Am I missing stuff? Tourette syndrome with bad fashion sense. Have a great day. Mind your own business. I'm just kidding. It'd be even better if he sang, I got a brand new pair of rose. Corbin just looked at me. I think he likes that song. So Jim has joined us. For those that are interested, Jim has got a new episode of Hey Man, How's Your Movie Going? That will be on Thursday night this week. Come and check it out. Special guest will be the man, the myth, the magic, Mr. Paul Pate. You like Paul? He's one of those cool kids that sits at the back of the bus. But yeah, if you get a chance to check him out, please check out that video and his streaming video that we'll have on Thursday night. It's a lot of fun, and Jim walks you through the processes that he's going through as a one-man crew animating a feature-length film. And if you get a chance, check out all of other Jim's other work. It's I think a lot of it's on YouTube, Jim. If he's still here. There he is. Question of the day: where do you fall in your family? Youngest, eldest, middle, only child? Janet says 5th in the line of 7. Nice. I'm a middle kid. I'm the melancholic middle. That's middle of 3. The level-headed one. The mischievous one. Melancholic, mischievous, morose. M's. That's an interesting question, actually. Chris is the eldest of 3 sisters. Thursday night at 8 EST. Bingo. Jim is the youngest of 5. I'm the baby. Got to kiss me. Look out. I'm the baby, not the mama. Shit, it says I could have guessed that, Dan. I mean, that years ago. There we go. That's interesting. What number were you in line? And then, what is there a personality type that fits with that, right? Like, if you're the youngest of, 5, are you the baby? Like, if you're the baby of 2, or does it necessarily you have the stereotyped baby traits? Janet says, indeed, he is the oldest. I have an older sister and a younger brother. Now it's just all me and Corbin. Go ahead. Corbin's coming to join us, folks. You see him? Time for you're flooding the camera out here, buddy. Yeah, Corbin's going to get to work. To help in that way. Stop. Okay, so I think what I need to do next with this is to put a little bit of shadow in here and push it down a little bit like I did up above. The angle slightly slopes. Oh, you know what I forgot to put? That's the white bar there. Okay, it's just interesting lines. Shapes. If they say the oldest is the trailblazer, the youngest is the baby, the middle one is the, I don't know what. Now, okay, so here's the next question for Jim's question. Dan says he weighed 30 pounds at 9 months. 30 pounds at 9 months. I was 10 pounds when I was born. Does that count? That was a happy accident. Oh, there you go. What's the age difference between siblings? Right? Because if these larger families, there's, you could have drastic age differences, right? My mother is the youngest of 9, and she has a nephew who's a year younger than she is. Right? So it's, you get some wild differences in the numbers for families. So it'd be interesting to find out some of that information if anybody wants to share that. I know one brother and sister combination here in London where he was 18 when she was born, and the parents only had 2 kids. Move over, move your butt. There you go. He's sliding off my lap and digging in while he goes. Saying, "Hello, here are some claws." Less than 5 pounds at birth. Oh my! My son Josh was 3 pounds 14. It's just an ugly rumor because it was 25 pounds. Poor mother. I was good to go too. Like, it was a short labor as well, so it's just all around me, baby. Okay, so here's our window. A little bit of reflections that are in there. If there was color added to this, it'd be fun because then you could do a little more shape building with the reflections. But that's what I'll do for us now. I haven't put panels or borders on. I don't know that I will. So again, it's just sort of shaking it up each time, right? There's 17 years from the oldest and 9 years between you and your previous sibling. Oh, so you're a late baby too. Yeah, I get what you mean now, but I was a surprise or a mistake. Well, that's you're winning on that front. 8.5. My sister thought she had it made. This couple that in London I was telling you about, the siblings that are 18 years apart, it was planned that way. They're like, hey, we're pretty close to being done raising children and child. Let's do it again. You know what I mean? Like, that's not like 17 years and, oh, surprise, new kid. It's a happy accident, right? Dan says 8.5 years. My sister thought she had it made. Yeah, but then you became a doll. You were your sister's doll. Okay, so we've got our person thinking, right? And reflecting on past choices. Then we've got the window. Okay, and so now the other two factors we need to, or the other factor we need to put in is what he's thinking about, and somehow incorporate a heart. So that's fun. About an hour 10. Yeah, my older sister's within 2 years, and my younger brother was within 2 years. Just get it all done at once and get them out of the way. My mother's thinking on that. I think, I'm not sure, but anyhow, Corbin, you make it really tough, pal. I'm having a lean over cat here. Okay, so he's thinking about this place he used to work at, and let's have, a young lady he used to work with. Let's go there from this. So we're going to incorporate. I'm thinking I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go this way with the composition. Put the next part of it down here. And the reason for that is that I think I want to have a little movement here with the story, and then larger image over there. I don't know. We're going to play. We're playing with it. You always got to play with the form, right? So we'll put young lady he's interested in the next panel. Nowadays, it seems like there's so many families, and you hear about them that, oh, I got 6 siblings. Oh, wow. We have 6 years in one house. No. I need to find out. My father married 3 times and he's got 2 kids in 3 different places. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot of juggling. I know a guy that has 11 kids and he's not with any of their moms and they all have different moms. I always thought that was crazy, but he's a rather irresponsible individual. It's that guy that used to work at this bar that was beside this store that I worked at. There's a bit of pride in him for this many kids. I'm like, dude, it's just, yeah. All right, so draw in the young ladies here first. And you're all right now, yourself. Okay. Throwing in some hash marks, just a little bit of darkening up complexity in her hair. Nothing too pretty, but it's working. Sorry, I put the angle. Fix that. There's always that one big Catholic family that leaves a kid at the Texaco bathroom. Well, children, we can't afford to keep this anymore, so we're selling you all off for scientific experimentation. But father, no, scientific experimentation for the lot, yes. Can't afford any more children. Special digital drawing for anybody that tells me what that's from. We're Catholic, but I'm sure we were left random places. We were at the grocery store recently, Lori and I, and we were really enjoying watching this one family that had the little one in the top part of the grocery cart where you can put your kids' legs through and keep your child handy in the places normally for purses. And then there was one hanging on either side and another kid that was underneath the grocery cart. And I thought, that's fantastic. Chris says, gotta go, see you around. Hey, see you later, Chris. Thanks for coming out and hanging out. My dad took a Kodak of mom coming out of the men's can. Okay. Don't tell everybody. It was a secret. She was proud of it. What your mom was doing in the men's bathroom. I don't know if I want to know. So my thought here is that as he's reflecting back on the past and he's remembering his place that he used to work, maybe I should put some letters up here. Like maybe I should, how about let's put the name of the business up here. What's that? And some of these letters, of course, are in the shadow area. This one's a little bit clunky. Oh, now we're embossing the letters. I like drawing with a fountain pen. It forces you to be very deliberate. It forces you that the line that you're putting down, it's there. You got to work with it. Now, I'm sure that there are some people that say, well, you can go back in and go over it with some white and correct things. And there'll be other people that are purists. There's no white allowed. I'm just trying to stick to whatever mark I put down has to stay. Okay, so there's the start. PETT. All right. So there's our shop that they met at, and then now let's. I remember to get these backgrounds in before I go any farther down, so that I don't drag ink all over the image. Right. Put my old gnarled up fingers in there. And we've got some books on the shelves. And just put some fun pieces of information in the background, right? Books on the shelf. And I'm giving a little bit of space around her, like a little halo again, sort of this sort of behavior that I'm doing around there, just to pull her out, a little bit of emphasis to pull her out from the background behind her. My one leg, in case you're wondering, has gone completely numb from it being sat on by a cat. Hashtag sleepy cat, hashtag oh my damn leg. I'm really interested to see what other people are working on today. I've been so caught up in doing a lot of things. I'm trying to get out and give people likes and things whenever I can. But for the most part, I'm just hopping. So I'll be trying to do that later on today. I'll hold this up for the camera, and you can sort of look at some of the textures and things I'm trying to play with in there. A little bit of crosshatch, little bit of overlap. Just trying to build up some marks. Have some fun with that. Right, Corbin? That's right. And of course, I'm still trying to keep the rumor alive that Corbin's the one that does all my drawing. It's not actually me. It's Corbin wearing human hands. Human hand gloves. I always see so many cut parts in your videos there, Chris. Oh. Little wooden blind in the window here. Didi says, man, no, have a good evening, guys. You too as well. Thanks, Didi, for coming and hanging out. And thanks again for all the prompts. If you get a chance, check out Didi's Monday morning and Wednesday morning streams that she does. She does all kinds of different projects and very talented. And then Janet has her stream on Mondays around noon. And if you haven't had a chance to play Pictionary online with somebody, you definitely want to try out Janet's. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so just finishing putting in these bits of business here. And then we'll move on to the next part. I'm keeping this picture of urine But by trying to put some different books on the bookshelf, and people have a tendency, by the way, to try to put books that are similar in height side by side with each other. So that's why I see a lot of bookshelves with all the books being the same height when people are drawing, because we're just so, it's a sort of subconscious thing. We're not even aware that that really is what's going on. And that's why we see that. I don't know. Think about it. When you sorted your bookshelf, did you do that at all? These pens, these Uli pens, you get a ton of ink out of these suckers. You really do. And I really like the control on these things. The preppy one's good too, but I really, really sing the praises of this guy. Okay, so forehead, hairline, so let's put some soft eyes and soft glasses. Corbin, you got those. Excuse me a second, folks. Oh, leg is just completely asleep. There you go. You can stay there, but he's going to move because he doesn't have as much support now. He likes to sleep and sit on my lap when I've got my one leg crossed over the other, but then he just makes that knee just wonk right out on me. So it's a tough position to be sitting in just to accommodate a spoiled, rotten cat. So what are we at? We're at hour 22. A few more minutes. Let's just try to get this young lady's features in here. So he's trying to use really thin lines here, right? Oh, he's moving. Now he's moving. There's all thin, delicate line part. Oh, I think I'll jump around in your lap. Okay. So I'm not going to put as much detail in her face as I did over this guy. And the reason for that is that I want there to be the idea that it's smoother and softer features. So put some directional marks in here, but for the most part, what are you doing? See now. I want to keep it nice and simple. Yep, this is looking okay. So, if you do get one of these fountain pens and you do find one that you like and it fits your hand to your liking, try different sized nibs. Like try different size. I've got an 01 and an 05. I've pretty much done this. Well, I think I have only used the 01 on this, so. But it lets you explore a line if you're using different size nibs. That's for sure. Whereas using one nib and a smaller one at that makes you explore marks for texture. Okay, so I don't like that chin. I don't like it. There we go. Better chin. Okay. So the idea here is to have him, that I'm eventually going to be doing here, is having him profess his feelings for this young lady. And, you know, his heart gets broken, and then the outcome, the larger panel here, which I think is going to be very explosive. But that's the direction that I'm taking with this story. And I'm using a Stonehenge paper. It's really thick. Hold on a second. It's very thick. I can almost register the thickness of this stuff. It's a cold press, 80 pound. That's why you got the cool texture on it. And it's really good for taking the fountain pen ink in. And then I'm using an 01 fountain pen. So if anybody wants to try this themselves and to test out some fountain pens, like, I mean, I found this and the other that I showed you at Chapters, Indigo, and they were $10. So you don't have to buy an expensive tool. Now, Janet was describing earlier some very nice sounding fountain pens, and it's also because Janet really enjoys working in fountain pen. But if you're just wanting to try it randomly for the first time ever, you don't have to put any investiture of studio resource money into it. But if you do find you like it, yeah, if you're using a certain kind of tool on a regular basis, try to make sure you have one that works for you and does the things that you want it to do. Or you can figure out a way to make it do the things you want it to do. But if you just go out the gate, I'm going to try using a fountain pen. You don't buy a $200 fountain pen. I don't know what to tell you. Join my Patreon. What is the suggestion for today's project? Those 3 words is today's suggestion, Dan. Yesterday's suggestion was from Jim L. And it was Jim, who's in the chat here, Jim Luan. And yesterday's was, I'm on the wrong spot. Corbin, you just sat down. Godzilla and Therapy was the page that I did for today. So there we go. But yeah, 3 words: thinking, heart, and window. Dee Dee pulls prompts for people out of a bag of prompts that she has. She's not doing it for the month of October because she needs a break. For one, I don't blame her for pulling prompts all the time, and also because it's Inktober. It's just a lot of stuff to juggle. So that should probably get that back to the ground at some point. This is a prompt that she gave to our friend Rachel some time ago. So just thought I'd try it out. And, knowing full well, Rachel and I work very differently, so it's not like there's any comparison between the two. There's no, I'm not trying to steal anybody's moment. Okay, so what are we at? We're at an hour and a half. And why are you bleeping? Sorry, my phone started flashing. What? Okay, so I'm going to be doing an interaction between the young lady here and this fella as a young man. And then the bottom part of this side is going to be broken heart symbolism. And then there'll be a large panel that takes up the majority of the rest of the page. That is going to be the outcome, that has, of Mr. Broken Heart here that he's now reflecting on or is thinking about. So, well, good suggestions. Oh, okay. Yeah, I highly recommend people try three-word suggestions. They're a lot of fun, and you can get really a lot of interesting possible, images out of it. There's a great possibility for you to have some really sort of different approaches at work, because it's, these are ideas that you wouldn't have normally taken on. So yeah, if you are afforded a chance to try to do some three prompt projects, you can look back through my stream, or not my stream, but my social media, Instagram or Facebook page, and any of the 3 prompt pages that you see that I've done before. You're welcome to use those for sure. Let me think. I've got here, just one second. Oh, Velcro. ASMR. I've got some pages that I'll be putting up on the Patreon thing. But this is, I've got some here. This is oranges, Cyclops, and any game is this page. Oranges, Cyclops, and any game is this. So that's another approach to a 3 prompt page. And so here's the Cyclops getting mad as these kids are in his gigantic garden stealing his gigantic oranges, and that's their fun game that they play. Run, Timmy, I got one. And then whatever we do with that is always going to be different than the next person. I've got another one here. Just one sec. Okay, this is Red Panda, Periwinkle, and Marigold. And so this is another sort of different approach. And I think I have one more. No, I got 2 more. I've got, this is Shrimp. It's called Shrimped Up. I'm all shrimped up. Shrimp, Dragonfly, and Fuel. And so these 2 pilots are piloting their Dragonfly helicopter. And buzzing Jewel, the musical singer. And it's because they're all jacked up on shrimp. They're shrimped up. That makes sense if you think about it. I know. And then this is another one of our Frankenstein's monster pages. Hello, my name is Stephen. I'm brushing my teeth. This is Frankenstein, Tan and Lavender. This is Frankenstein becomes a fashion designer. So there's our 3 suggestions for that. Very simplistic. Not a lot of background stuff going on there. Just fun. Just some fun. So yeah, you can do all kinds of things with 3 prompt suggestions. It's just a matter of letting your mind fly. Oh, hey, look, there's the Universal family. The Brady Bunch starring the Universal Monsters. There's that. Universal Monsters blended with the Brady Bunch theme. And I describe all the characters from the Brady Bunch, but using the visual imagery of the Universal Monsters. Just because, my mom thinks I'm funny. I don't know why I do things the way I do them, but it's just, we're just having fun. Dan says, great job in your proportions. Oh, thanks, Dan. You got to have fun. This one I got a kick out of doing that one. That was some fun. I did it the same way as I did yesterday's page with Godzilla. I drew it in pencil and inked it, and then did all of the coloring digitally. Actually, I don't think I even inked this one. I think I just took the pencil and digitally colored it. So put them in these sleeves so I don't. Anyways, we've got these. Anybody that orders stuff from us, I'm going to mail them these insert pages, these fun double-sided illustrators. Bela Lugosi as a rock and roll star. There's vampires giving dental advice. You gotta have fun with these things. This is one of the mixed media things that I do, like the one I did for yesterday. Waiting for the Geddy Lee series. Oh, there you go. What is with the voice of Geddy Lee? How does he get so high? I wonder, does he speak like an ordinary guy? Okay, so, yeah. So anyways, here's the young lady. I'm going to do the young man. What are we at? We're at an hour 35. So yeah, so try fountain pens. Give them a go. Give yourself some time to play. Allow yourself to take another piece of paper and to just make some marks with it. Just try some shapes. You know, just get an idea of, you know, how the pen works and things that you can do with it. And, you know, just allow yourself that, just to have a comfort with it before you start doing whatever it is that you're doing. And then that way, when you start your drawing, you won't be so apprehensive because you've already got a feel for the thing. You already know that, you know, you're making some marks with it. And if you happen to, you know, just do something silly, and don't worry about it. We're all learning. We're all in the process of learning. And in the process of learning, you know, we're just going to do whatever, and it's not going to matter, right? So, but as we get better, our images will get better. So give yourself that. Don't let it hold you back on things. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun to do it. And then get a nice toothy paper also, by the way, or use a watercolor paper if you don't have things like a Stonehenge or a soft press paper. Watercolor paper is a soft pressed paper, highly absorbent, right? But try those out. Okay, I think I might wrap it up for today. Thanks everybody for coming out. I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST. I think Dee Dee's on in the morning, so check out Dee Dee's stream. It's Tuesday, I believe. So, yep, just look at the clock. It's Tuesday. Yeah, so check that out in the morning. She's going to be doing some fun stuff. I'm got an exciting thing coming up. I'm waiting for in the mail, and I don't know how long it'll take. It might be another week or two because of Canada Post, but I took part in the zine swap that is on Janet's, that was organized by Janet M. Young, who's in our chat today. And I'm excited to see what zines come in, and I'm going to show you those when they arrive in the mail. So keep an eye out for that. And if you join late, look back in the earlier part of this video, and you'll see some of the London Comic Jam pages, the little photocopy booklets we're doing right now, and take a look at those. And if you are anywhere near London, we do those once a month at the Tap Gallery, or the Tap Art Gallery downtown. It's a lot of fun. But wherever you are, if you're able to find something like that, where you get to sit down and engage creatively with other illustrators, other writer artists, it's surprising how much it encourages your growth as a creative. So think about that. Give yourself that opportunity to do that. In the meantime, I'll have this posted tomorrow morning, and I hope everybody has a great afternoon, a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be posting the today's Inktober. A couple hours. It's over there. I just got to scan it and put it out. So, but I got a couple of things I got to do, as usual. So, you know, I've only got so much time in the afternoon for doing this, and I'll finish it tonight. In the meantime, have fun, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye for now.